Okay, moving on to our next work session on Community Development Fee Schedule Update Proposal for Land Use Review and Wetland and Habitat Review Program. So welcome to you all. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, counselors. My name is Chad Dragon. I'm the finance manager here in community development, and we have a updated fee proposals for the land use review and wetland and habitat review programs to present today. Next slide. Purpose is today we just want to receive any feedback you may have on the fee updates that we're proposing. And we'll start off with a little bit of background, and then we'll go into the general fund support for both of these programs and why regular fee updates are very important. Next slide, please. The current cost recovery framework for our fees. So at the state level, RCW 82, it allows reasonable fees from an applicant to cover the cost of processing applications, inspecting, and reviewing plans. Now, on the Clark County Code side, in Title VI, we have the application and service fee policy. We are to adopt application and service fees at the level necessary to cover the costs of conducting the review or providing service. So that's everything combined, indirect costs, overhead, staff time. General fund support for key activities will be identified where necessary. Next slide. Revenue sources. In our department, we're mostly funded by fees. Best practices and county code dictate that our fees should cover the costs of providing those services. This includes not only salaries and benefits, but also indirect costs like rent, copier maintenance, and then there's department overhead that we allocate within the department ourselves to all the other programs. Those costs which can't be tied to processing applications are not subsidized by council. They must be covered by other funding sources. We have a couple of small grants, but the major alternate funding source is, of course, general fund. Next slide. Some of the drivers of this general fund support have been sporadic fee updates in past years. Cost of service usually increase every year. But the fees in these programs just have not been updated consistently enough to keep up with that. There's another reason, intentional subsidization of these program costs by previous councils. General fund support for fee work, which is also known as public share. In previous fee updates, I believe in the 2009 and 10 major update to these programs, there was a 15% public share that was subsidized by or agreed to by that council at the time. And so applicants were only paying 85% of the cost of providing service or whatever fee they were applying for. There's also allocation of general fund dollars for non-fee supported activities like customer service to applicants. We have a planner who will provide extra assistance to one-time applicants just to kind of smooth the process along. We also have a small expense for Clark Conservation District and the Wetland and HAB program, which it works with landowners to maintain statuses on their property and help them avoid any wetland HAB violations. Next slide. One way, probably the best way, to lessen our department's reliance on general fund is to keep these fees updated regularly. And to that end, in 2024, late 2024, we did a major fee update. It was approved by council as proposed at 100% cost recovery, and those fees went live on January 15th of this year. And again, the previous update was not done for a very long time, probably close to 15 years before that. The fee model that we used during this process was reviewed and approved by the county finance team. And the result is that just in 2025, we are projecting about 27% less general fund support that we need over 2024, or 27% less than 2024. So the fee updates are definitely having an effect. Next slide. This slide just shows the historical and forecasted general fund support for both these programs. As you can see, last year in 2024, we had quite a jump. Both programs needed significant general fund dollars. This year, however, we're projected in 2025 to be down combined about 27% in both programs. And you can see the decreases on the very bottom line there over 2024's numbers. Next slide. The fee updates we're proposing now, if they are adopted as proposed, it would be about a 1.8% increase in land use review, and it would bring in an estimated $30,000 of additional revenue. And in wetland habitat review, about a 3% increase, and it would bring close to $20,000 of extra fee revenue in. Next slide. Okay, next steps. So that was just the basic background on things. We're here to present to you and get any feedback you may have. Then we'll take all of that feedback and go to the Development and Engineering Advisory Board and get their feedback, and then we'll come back to you with the most updated results.
Thank you. I have a quick question. So this, can we anticipate this will be an annual review now going forward based on what the council directed?
Yes, absolutely.
It does seem like there's a lot of work just bringing it forward annually, but I agree it's a good thing to do these incremental increases than wait every 15 years to do that. Was this run by Deeb previously? I just wondered if you had gotten any feedback from Deeb.
Well, we did meet with them during our 2024 fee update, and they really didn't have a whole lot of feedback for us. I don't remember really anything of significance that they suggested or any changes really. So.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious how you got to the number of 1.8% for the land use reviews. I see the 3.03% for wetland habitat review, which seems more reflective of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondered where that number came from. And when you do go to the public to present this information, if you could have a list of example fees
Mm-hmm. and
what it was and what it will be so that people can actually understand this as real numbers, that would be helpful.
Yes. The decrease in land use, or the increase rather in land use review, was quite a bit smaller for really one reason. Part of the cost that goes into each of these fees is it's department overhead. And so we have a cost allocation plan within our department, which allocates costs from the admin group and the permit center to those programs that everyone makes use of the admin group, but the permit center, like land use, building safety program, all of those make use of our permitting system and permit center, and so they receive benefit from that. The state auditor had asked us to tweak our allocation method a little bit, and so the result of that is that for this fee proposal here, land use's portion of the overhead went way down, but it was offset mostly by the increases in wages. And so there was a little bit of a shift there, which caused a slightly lower increase. And in wetland hab, it came out to a little bit higher than that, but for the same reason.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions? Councilor Belcott?
None for me.
Okay, I usually have time to think a little bit because Councilor Young is asking a lot of questions. But not so much now.
You're supposed to.
That's good. It's a good thing. I don't mean that as in any way as a criticism. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I just looked at my note. It would be good, I think, if there are cost-saving measures that are taking place at the same time so the public's aware that we're doing all that we can to keep the costs down at the same time as recognizing that the cost for everything that we have to provide is going up. So if there's any of that information that you have to share, I'd welcome it.
Sure. I'll have to hand it off to our program manager, Brent Davis.
So, we're constantly looking for ways to improve our process, which ultimately should help with, controlling costs. And, but one of the challenges kind of on the opposite side of that is we have, changes in mandates from the state, and which actually in many cases adds to things that we have to review, or the level of detail we have to review things in, which alternately potentially increases costs. I did evaluate our fee model. It's as part of the work that Chad's put together, and determined that we didn't make any adjustments to the time allocations for staff time for any of these fees. The cost increases are not being driven by changes in the workload or the amount of effort required to complete an individual task that the fees are tied to. And again, I think that's balanced by our efforts to increase our efficiency and the additional things that continuously come our way from the state.
Thank you for that response. I know it's a struggle, and I think overall over the years that we've tried to run a very tight ship here in all departments. So thanks for your response. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I think thank you very much for the information, and we'll look forward to seeing this come back to us. Thank you. Okay, that concludes our work session, so we'll adjourn and reconvene this afternoon.